For almost 3 years after the flood of 2019, the buildings on the southeastern portion of Offutt Air Force Base sat vacant and trashed. And after just about 9 months of this, these buildings went from vacant, mold-infested, and unusable to this. So to give everyone an update of just how far we've come, we met with Don Fusick, the Air Force Project Manager, and Lieutenant Colonel Mike Tullius, the Director of the Project Management Office for Flood Recovery. And the first thing we asked him was, how many buildings have gone down in the last 3 months?
So it's actually been 41 buildings. A lot of those were smaller structures and everything. So
to put that in other terms,
we have taken out about 76,000 tons of debris out of this site, with about 56,000 tons of that being recycled.
The big buildings that I think people will recognize would be the old 343rd RS, the old Wing Headquarters building, to include where the 55th OSS was, old NC3 alert facility, that one came down.
And what they thought was the final big building to be demolished.
The 55th ISS that had our mission simulators, that's come down, and that one just came down recently. So they went in, took out a lot of those racks, those metal racks that held those simulators, took those out, and you could actually see those piled up outside the building for a while. Something that none of us knew about going into this was actually there was a bunker, metal structure underneath the ground, and had seats, MREs, water, kind of just a survival bunker that was right in front of the Wing Commander's office underneath the ground. Didn't know it was there until we started digging, found it, and were able to rip that out as well. So that was one of the, that was the last main building.
So now that all the buildings are gone, crews continue to build up the ground where the new construction will sit.
210,000 cubic yards of the final 1 million cubic yards of dirt have been delivered. We've actually got 6,600 cubic yards per day of dirt coming in. That's 29 trucks an hour.
And although that fixes the problem of flooding the new facilities, it still doesn't answer the question, where does all the water go when it does rain?
What you're seeing here is some of our storm sewer box culverts. These things are 8 foot by 5 foot by 6 foot. And that's what they're actually doing here. They're trenching for the box culverts to go in the sanitary sewer lines right there. They're replacing the old culverts, which are about 48 inch. Instead of this water that was normally going out to the base lake, will now be directed and will head off to the southeast portion of the base and head out to Papio Creek.
You know, I would just say from a nostalgia standpoint, even today I was driving out towards the construction site, going down a road I've driven hundreds of times, and just it really hit me in looking out, and it was just open field. But at the same time, it gave me a little excitement of what's to come, you know, and knowing the buildings that we've designed that are going to be in those spaces. I was really optimistic and excited for the future.